photographer, videographer. I'm moving to New York and I'm going to Parsons, which I'm really excited about.
I'm not really sure what my passion in life is right now. I'm just kind of going with the flow and see where my life takes me.
I probably want to own like some type of clothing like line or something.
When I grow up, I want to be like a softball player or a teacher.
I really want to make music, but that's not the path I'm on. It seems like there's a lot of risk taken if you do that, and I personally want to be financially stable above a lot of other things.
I would like to play basketball. I don't know if that's going to happen, but if my alternative would probably be to be in banking like my grandfather. So
I have so many ambitions, so I just couldn't even choose one. If I were to have one thing to say to all adults, it's just like validating people's feelings is so incredibly important. I think that a lot of adults don't understand just how different it is to be a teenager in this society, in this like technological age. And
I honestly wouldn't even tell them something that I feel they need to learn to understand me better. I think I would tell them, or anybody, don't overthink about things, and the less you worry, like the happier you'll be. Everything bad that has happened in my life before now, it all turned out okay. So I have no reason to believe that the next bad thing that'll happen won't turn out okay. And there's definitely comfort with just having faith in that it's going to turn out fine. And then my faith with like Christianity, I think that's kind of helped me realize not every little thing is super important. You shouldn't worry about messing up on one little thing because it'll be okay.
I'd first just want to like thank them because all the adults in my life do a lot for me. But then I'd also want to just like tell them about like how hard stuff can be, like if they're not like with me.
it really closes me off to people when I'm trying to open up about something that I'm feeling and dealing with, and I just get well, I'm dealing with it too, and so just suck it up type thing. I think it'd be really helpful for adults to acknowledge that it's really different and it's really hard to be growing up at this time.
Today it's like we have to do a certain thing to look a certain way and post about it. So that's really competitive and it can be really difficult, but also at the same time, all the technology we have today can actually be like a really good thing along with bad.
The hardest part of being my age is either school or social media, because I feel like social media is just like, it's kind of like you can feel discluded or you can feel sad and stuff, like the same thing with friends. Like I'm not allowed to have social media, and I get why, and I do still ask for it, but I mean, like even some of my friends, like they tell me that they get discluded, like, oh, I wasn't invited to this, stuff like that.
High school, especially with social media these days, can be really, really competitive in every single aspect, in everything.
Social media really is not good for me. It got to the point where I actually deleted all of my social media apps from my phone. It wasn't even about like follower counts or likes. Like I didn't really even care about that because I rarely posted anyways. But I think that the highlight reels of, you see all these people you know and don't know, you see the best parts of their life and you see what they want you to see. And even knowing that, it's still so hard to not look at these picture perfect lives of other people and compare yourself to that. And at least for me personally, it got to the point where I just couldn't deal with it. And it was it just made me so anxious and it made me very depressed. And so I think that for me personally, there are more cons to social media.
The hardest part about being a teenager is probably just other teenagers and just feeling like you might get judged for something that you do or something that you say, and that these days like everything is online, so you have to be really careful for what you put out there. I'm most afraid of not succeeding and just like getting down on myself if I don't succeed, and then just giving up on what I want to do.
I think my parents have pretty high expectations, but I think they make me better. I don't necessarily always reach those expectations, but they make me better than if they were lower.
They don't expect perfection, but they expect me to try my best. And if I'm not trying my best, I'm not doing good. I'm not doing great.
I don't feel pressure from my parents. They're very supportive and they're really happy with what I'm doing. But when it comes to other like parental figures in my life and adults, it like gives me a little bit of stress because they expect me to be like the perfect like Aggie kid who goes into like accounting, all that stuff, and has like a normal job, and that I'm actually trying to do what I really love makes them nervous because they're just so used from a 9-to-5 job is what you like have to do, which I get because that's what they grew up with, but at the same time, like me actually trying to pursue my dreams is like, what are you doing with your life to them?
There's definitely a lot of pressure to succeed academically and then take a traditional path towards the preconceived notion of success, which would just be getting a stable job and then not being poor. And so like counselors will push you to go to a college, and of course, I mean, I don't think it's wrong to try to push a student to get the grades that are to their best ability, but that just seems like there's a lot of pressure and competition between like standardized tests, grades, and then which college you get accepted to or denied to. So I think that's probably what's hardest for most teenagers is the competition in school.
I am surrounded by support, which I'm really, really grateful and thankful for.
Being around friends and family brings me joy. Playing basketball.
I feel like my family and friends, or just basically any social like gathering, brings me joy, and of course my dogs.
What brings me joy is my family, my friends, sports, stuff like that.
Family, friends, just going outside and having fun.
The staff has helped me in so many ways. I think that was the first place that I really felt like I belonged. That was such like a life-changing experience for me, honestly, because I never really experienced that. But the MDUMC staff has really helped me realize that this might be a low, but just working up to the Jesus high.